Hello, this is my living in my van vlog video. I'm in the park. The date is, it's 1:49 p.m. The date is April 12th, so it's been like 3 months since I've done one of these. Uh-oh, somebody wants to talk to me. Hello!
Hey,
How's it going?
can I ask you where you got this?
Got it off the lot in Littleton, Colorado in 1990.
Oh, okay, so you've had her that long. They're getting hard to find.
I know, people are always asking me where I got it because they want one. It's a great car, I love it. It gets really good gas mileage, it's fun to drive, it turns on a dime. Yeah, they should start making them again.
I know, well, I just like the idea of popping up the top, and
Yeah.
you want to stop, just like what you're doing, you want to stop somewhere and hang out, you can, and
Yeah.
you can set your stuff up.
Yeah,
so.
well, I've seen American vans with the pop-up lately, some
Really?
late model ones, yeah.
Do you know
so-
what make?
It was like a Dodge or something, but I've
Okay.
seen a couple of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I've seen these online or something like that, the only thing that scares me off, they're going 30, 35, 40 grand.
I know.
And it's like, what?
Yeah, you could get an old one from the 70s, I guess. Those have pop-up, and they probably wouldn't be as expensive.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering if you got it locally.
No, I heard South Florida is a good place to find cars.
Florida? Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check that out. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Shit, dude, I get that all the fucking time, dude. I was in the coffee shop like a week ago or something, and this like hippie kid comes up to me. He's like, "What's up? Is that your van?" Like, you know, he didn't even see me come out of it, but people always know that it's me in the van, I guess, because I have the long hair, you know, and the beard, because I'm the reincarnation of the Lord and Savior of Nazareth. You see how I said that without smiling? Fucking acting skills, dude. Yeah, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, they're like 50,000. Like, I have one, but like, I think I'm gonna sell it because the engine died, and like, but I think there's this other one who I can buy mine from." But like it might be hard because like I already got like 50 calls on mine today, and I only put it up on Craigslist like an hour ago, and so yeah. Anyways, I should make new ones of these, but so yeah. What happened since the last time I made a video? The last time I made a video was I was doing my work at night, and I was hanging out at I'm gonna get this thing out of my face. I'm gonna be looking at my Jesus Leaf face. I was working at night in Denny's and Village Inns because they were open at night, and I was just nocturnal because I couldn't get up in the morning because I was up all night. Until I suddenly became a dayturnalist because I was up, or a diurnalist because I was up all night, and like it was right after that where I made the last one. So anyway, since then I've been a diurnalist, which is way better being a diurnalist because you get to soak in the sun, you get to see people walking around. When you drive around, you can see the landscape, you know. It just kind of feel like you're like in a dungeon if you're up all night, you know. And I feel like I get more done during the day too, and it's just way better being a diurnalist. So yeah, what I started doing after that is I stopped going to the Denny's and the Village Inns because that's about when my appetite went away. So I started getting vegetable packets at the supermarket and like fruit packets and buying V8s. I live off of V8s now. So I'm living cheaper and healthier because I'm definitely wanting to, you know, I'm getting fat, obviously, because I'm not exercising at all, as you can see. Let's show my chunkiness. Let's see, boom, bitty, boom, bitty, boom. You see? Blibbity, blibbity, bloobity, boop. Bloop, bloop, you know? So, but anyways, so I started going to the coffee shop at 6 and staying there until like 10 where the library opens, and working in the library until like 8 when they close it. And then going back to going to sleep and then getting up really early, you know. And sometimes even reading movies because I was working for a long time on my mini computer, but it had really bad memories, so I cracked one day and I was like, fuck this. So I went into the Radio Shack, and I got a computer for $450 after taxes, and it's a HP, and it's way better than any computer I've ever had. 350 gigs of memory, or of space, you know, 3 gigs of memory or something like that. Computer program of operating system of Windows 7, which is a million times better than XP, XP, which was a fucking disaster. Is that the one that was the disaster? No, it was Vista, which was a fucking disaster. XP was good, but 7 is even better. So, yeah, I sold my computer for $20 to the computer place because it wasn't charging anymore. Yeah, and I started working and doing really well. And since I had my new computer, I could watch movies. So I started renting movies at Redbox for $1, and that was really cool. Although it only actually plays maybe 75% of the movies that I get. I guess they're scratched, or that I have a crappy computer or something. But yeah, so I was in Tucson. See, I've totally lost track of time. I should utilize my my website calendar, or at least write on my little portable calendar, which I have right here, which my mom sent me, which is great, although I keep forgetting to write in it, right, to keep track, but so I don't even know. But even so, I left maybe, I don't know, what, a month ago or something like that, from Tucson one day spontaneously. It's a great thing about living in your car. And I'm like, all right, let's blow this joint. It's warm enough. Let's move north. So I went to Phoenix, 5th largest city in America, and I was there, and I really liked Phoenix. See, now I can start doing videos on the differences between cities and what I think about cities. Phoenix seemed a lot more upmarket, a lot more wealthy, because the signs were bigger and newer, and the roads were newly paved, and more manicure done on the around, and nicer looking cars and less potholes, and I thought it was really cool. So anyways, I went there, and I actually stayed in the parking lot of a cousin who I'd never met before, who's a stand-up comedian / psychologist. He's funny. And then she had a sister who actually lived there too. This would be my mother's parents' offspring. And they told me some things that I didn't know. They said that see, like my mother's father, it was from Austria, from Vienna, Austria. He was in the Vienna Boys Choir in the 1850s, and he was a Manhart, and his last name was Manhart. And they said that the Manharts were part of the Habsburgs. So that's cool. I have some royal blood in me. And his wife, Conrad's wife, was from Hull, England, and she was a Boleyn. So that's pretty cool. Which I told them, and they didn't know. But anyways, yeah. I went and spent a few days driving around Phoenix. The Phoenix libraries had better internet consistently than the ones in Tucson. Most of the ones in Tucson had bad internet, except for the one that I was using in a nice part of town. And they also had this other feature where they had these like couches you could lay back, and they have these like tables you can swivel over like you're in school and do your internet there, and like be comfortable so your legs don't hurt. And then it was her sister, the other cousin, lived like right downtown. And next to this giant library. I kept forgetting I filmed the outside of it. I kept forgetting to film the inside of it, but it was like 5 stories high. It had this huge indoor elevator, but the internet wasn't there so good the first time I was there, but then I went back and it was good. And yeah, but like, that was like right downtown, and like she lived right downtown, so I was parking in her like driveway. Her husband was really interesting. He's like this really old guy. I didn't ask him how old he was, but he looked like he was like 80 or something. But he's like, yeah, when I go riding, man, I'm ready. I was on the flats riding down for like 17 miles, averaging 27 miles an hour. I was like, god damn. It's like this like skydiving instructor / like go-kart racer. Then you can go 115 miles an hour, average 95, and he showed it to me. And these races, he has a fucking crotch rocket. She does too. He's like, yeah, when I go skiing, I was a ski instructor, ski patrol. And there's this one ledge we're jumping off of it, going getting 800 feet of air. It's like, they're interesting, fun to hang out with. And then I hung out, but I was only there for a couple weeks. I wish I'd have been there longer, because it's the 5th biggest city in the world, or in America. And there's all sorts of different, like, suburbs I could have gone to. I didn't go to most of them, Inglewood, Scottsdale. But I did drive to the top of the mountain on the south side of the city and saw it before sunrise, and then I drove towards the west, towards the national park of Joshua Tree. Drove through the valley where the Great San Andreas Fault is, which I didn't notice until I was after there, but I did get the video of it. So I took that up for a day or two. That was pretty cool. I climbed this mountain, got some exercise. Couldn't walk for like 2 days after that, and I had a fucking asthma attack the whole time. I forgot to bring my inhaler. That kind of sucked, but then I came to Vegas. I'm in Vegas right now. I've been here a couple weeks or something like that. Filled up my gas tank once. One way I judge my time going by is like, you know, how many times I fill up my gas tank, maybe every once week and a half. Yeah, so anyways, I was downtown, and I can also gauge time going past in terms of where I live. Like, I could probably trace like a whole month because I live in a different place every night, right? I don't stay the same place 2 nights in a row. But so yeah, I came to Vegas. I did the filming of Vegas. Vegas, interesting place. Yeah, but energy-wise, you know, when I do what I think about cities, I can also do the energy. The energy was really good in Phoenix. Energy, you know, better than in Tucson. The energy was really frantic and hectic. Couldn't concentrate in downtown, but now I'm doing all right up here. After being downtown, I moseyed on down to the eastern part of Vegas, which is kind of like a seedy area. I judge seediness in terms of potholes, what kind of cars are driven. Mainly, you know, if there's manicured, you know, like bushes and, you know, green cut grass all over the road. Because then I went over to the western side of the city, which is much higher. And I feel like I'm in freaking Beverly Hills up here. I mean, it's like green grass everywhere. You know, ice cream, man. Trees, you know, bushes. I mean, here, I'll just show you this park that I'm in right now. I mean, look at how nice that freaking grass is, for the love of God. Are we in the desert or what? You know, Eastern Vegas wouldn't be like this. It would be like dirt. Oh, no.
Hello?
Oh, Jesus. Anyways. Yeah, so here I am now. Vegas has got some interesting people, though, like just weird people. Like, I was on the street walking around, this like lady who was totally wasted, dude. This girl, like in her 20s or something. She's like, yeah, like, here's the thing for the T-bar, you can get in for free. And then her boyfriend was like, yeah, here, and he gives me like 5, and I'm like, cool. And like, yeah, we work for tips though, tips, we work for tips. And I was like, oh, you do, here, have them back then. And then I heard later that, oh yeah, he's like, what? And I was like, yeah, dude, I don't have the money for that right now. And he's like, what, you need money? And he like whips out this huge stack of fucking cash, like he's gonna give it to me. And I was like, okay. So then I told this other guy, because I was in the library, but it was kind of like community center library, and he was talking, there's this like old guy who sits over here, and he's hanging out with this other old guy who like comes and talks to him, and I mentioned that to those guys, because I started talking to him, because I noticed that they were from here, and so I was like, you know, I live in my van, like, can you tell me of cool like parking lots to park in? He's like, oh yeah, I've been living in my Winnebago, dude. I've lived here since 91. I live in my Winnebago on the strip. I just park in a different casino parking lot every night. And I've noticed a whole bunch of big-ass freaking Winnebagos all over the place. And I guess it's like a lot of these old motherfuckers living in them. Or people getting away with murder, man. Living for free. But anyways, yeah, because I was in a library. They're 24-hour parking lots, and they're open all night. I felt like I could have been there forever, and they're huge parking lots, and they're all over. So, yeah, I definitely want to become acquainted with them. Only problem is, you know, during the day is an issue, because there's only one place I can go to, and it's this one community center. And I was there one day, and they had this, like, Mexican graduation party, and it was loud as fuck, man, playing Mexican music. And, you know, I don't like having loudness like that. But that was only one day. But anyways, he was like, oh yeah, they were scamming you, that guy with the cards, you know, you can get those cards for free all over anyways. And I was like, yeah, that's what I figured. But anyways, I did kind of drive up. I went to take a shower one day, and it was this totally fucking run down freaking place. There was only one shower head in the whole place that was heated. But yeah, that old guy, he told me some cool places to like park and stuff. But yeah, and then I went out and see east, and I sat on this other library. The internet didn't work there, so I went over to a Starbucks. Now I'm starting to like, before I was kind of interested in, you know, let's check out the libraries because they're interesting to look at and stuff, but you know what, I'm way better off just going to a Starbucks, because Starbucks consistently, they have these really nice couches with these like really big, you know, they're cushy couches where you can hang out all day, and you can put your foot up on the chair, and you can basically hang out there all day and just like give them $1.60 for the coffee, and then, you know, a couple of refills throughout the day for 55 cents. And they're really comfortable, those couches, because they're really big on the side, so you can use your wireless laser mouse on it without no problems. Or you could put, you know, the bedside table, your coffee table there on the side, and do your mouse, and it works such great. And the internet's consistently good there, because the internet isn't consistently good at libraries, man, nor is our outlets to find. I mean, people who run libraries need to get taken over by freaking Starbucks or somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. Because like the last library I went to was a pretty nice library, and there were couches and stuff, but there were no outlets next to them. And the one outlet that I did use wasn't even working, and so it was like, all right. At that point, I was like, all right, fuck this, man. From now on, I'm not even gonna really care about libraries. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna map out where the freaking Starbucks are, because Starbucks are everywhere. And Starbucks, a lot of times are really close to where the 24-hour Walgreens are, which is where I can sleep. And those have the red boxes. I'm starting to get excited about watching movies, dude. Again, a long time I didn't watch movies because I didn't have the computer. But I saw like Charlie St. Cloud last night. That was pretty good. The night before I saw G.I. Joe. Didn't get to the end of it because the battery died. My battery doesn't really last that long, but it lasts most of the time for most of the videos I see. I tried to rent Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I saw the preview for that, the chicken that's fucking hot. But I got that twice, and it couldn't play it either time, so I guess it just won't play that movie for some reason. But anyway, I was just sitting down at this one Starbucks, and there's this fucking old-ass dude, 74, who when he walks like this. He can only move his foot like 3 inches every time he takes a step. It was funny. I guess it was because he was I don't know if it was because of that, but he said he was injured. He was in Vietnam, and a mine went off, and he flew 90 feet in the air and compressed all of his vertebrae. But this guy was, like I said before, there's some weird-ass motherfuckers in fucking Vegas. Like different cities around the world and around America, they're kind of like sister cities. People make sister cities for whatever purposes, but then there's sister cities in reality, and I don't know if the ones that they do for the political purposes or in reality are the same ones, but the sister city, when I say sister city, it's like people move back and forth, and so like a lot of people come here from like a sister city of Vegas would be like LA, and also like New Jersey and like New York, like people, maybe probably even Chicago, Chicago's actually sister city Boulder, yeah, because I saw a lot of people, it was kind of like I was in The Sopranos, they got that accent. Yeah, I'm from Chicago, I'm here, and it's like, and like this one guy standing next to me kind of had that accent who was sitting there, over at the library. But this old guy, dude, he was funny because he's like, he was talking my ear off, dude. And I've noticed that about some other Starbucks. It's like old people will show up there and just hang out all day long and want to talk to you. Like there's this one over there in Tucson who's like that. But he's like, yeah, man, like he's telling me that like all of his girlfriends are like 20 years old, and and I tell them that I'm more handsome now than any guy ever will be who's a third my age. And it's funny because he had a glass eye here, and this eye was totally like deformed and like sunken in from like his like war wound or something. He's like, he's like telling about all of his friends, but he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna have like an Asian girlfriend though. Because if you marry one of them from Vietnam, next thing you know, you're bringing over their whole family, and then you buy them a car, and then they're getting in the car wrecks, which is expensive for you. He's like, yeah, I was telling this one lady over at the Walgreens that she was fat. I said if she lost 50 pounds, she'd be pretty, and so she got all pissed off, so she got the manager, and I told her she was fat too. So then the cop came, and they told me they were going to throw me in jail if I ever go back there. And then he sees the fireman. He's like, yeah, the fireman, man, they take all that money, but they don't do anything with it. They embezzle it. I'm going to see if I can go piss him off. So he shovels out there, and I see him talking to these animated conversations with these guys for like a half hour. He's a freaking crazy old guy. And then this like black dude is sitting next to me, and he wasn't talking to me, but all of a sudden, but then this other black dude comes up, and he's like trying to pass out like CDs. He comes from LA. He's like, yeah, man, I'm a rapper. I'm a martial artist. I'm an actor. I'm a comedian. I do everything. I came out here to pass out my CDs. And I saw some guys doing that over in the Strip. So I guess people come to Vegas, not just the Strip, but way the fuck out in the boonies in the poor part of town and some Starbucks in the middle of nowhere to pass out their CDs to people. But it turns out the guy sitting next to me was from New York, and he was a freaking talent scout, or a talent scout. It's like, yeah, man, I'm a talent scout. I'm looking for you guys like you too. So I guess not just the people come out here trying to get discovered, but people come out to Vegas to discover people, even if it's not on the Strip. It was weird. So they have this like really long conversation. He's like, yeah, man, I'm gonna check it out. I'll get back to you. We see how it is. And then like he gets back to his like thing or whatever he's doing on his laptop, and then all of a sudden he turns to me and goes, you got to go to this one coffee shop called I can't remember what it's called, but it's on this intersection, that intersection, open 24 hours a day. It's like $4 cups of coffee, but you can hang out and you meet people. It's really cool. So I was like, all right. So anyways, a couple days later, I was like, you know what? I'm going to blow this joint. I did, you know, I paid this one bike shop to get my road bike dismantled, and then I sent back the parts. And when my mom's actually going to visit me tomorrow for a couple of days. We're going to get a hotel, and it was cool. And she's going to bring back a bunch of stuff for me. Hopefully, she can bring back all my wheels. And so yeah, I sent back parts, bike pads, because it cost me so much money to get here, like $300 or something in gas to get here from freaking Phoenix, man. So fucked up, dude. So yeah, I gotta lose some weight, man. If I'm gonna if I'm gonna be able to drive around America the next 5 years. Yeah. So anyways, the next couple of days later, one day I was like, all right, fuck this. It's hot over here. Let's go. I just was tempted to go to the west side of Phoenix. So I went over to the west side of Vegas. This is like 13 or 14 miles, you know, big city. And I'm way higher. I'm like 1,000 feet higher. I'm like at like 3,300 feet now. It's nice and cool up here. Only it's way freaking affluent. I mean, like manicured lawns like what I saw. I feel like I'm in freaking like LA. I'm in like Beverly Hills. I like it more like this. Just feel more comfortable like this. And it's not as hot because it's higher. And yeah, so and then I went over to that coffee shop place, and that's where I met that hippie kid. He was like, yeah, man. And like they got me stoned. I was hanging out with his friend for like 2 or 3 hours or something. I got too stoned. I wanted to ask him because he was on a 600-foot boat for 3 years, touring all over the world on the Navy. And I wanted to ask him, you know, like the back end of the boat was only 20 feet off the water. And I wanted to ask him like stories about exactly what the waves looked like. He said he saw breaking waves, self-breaking waves, but I don't know how big the self-breaking waves were because I want to kayak around the Caribbean, you know, and I want to know what it's like to be in a freaking hurricane. In case that ever happens, you know, but whatever, I guess I'll find out for myself. But I do have 3 people, by the way, who want to do the trip with me, who've said that they want to do the trip with me. 3 guys who I haven't even invited it. I'm just like, yeah, I'm looking for a partner. They're like, oh, cool, thanks for inviting me, I want to go. So hopefully I'll actually get somebody to do it with me, you know, not just somebody who's going to tell me that they're going to do it, but who's somebody who actually will, because, you know, it's one thing to want to do that trip, and then it's the next thing to actually do it, you know, because, you know, as time approaches, you see it's actually reality. And I was kind of experiencing this in myself. You're like, holy shit, I'm actually going to do that? What if I die, you know? So I hope I get somebody to do it. But I want to like do some trips before that, just because I'm going to be motivated to do that. And I probably won't have the money to do the kayak trip when I'm done with my project now, but I will have the money to do something within America. So I'd like to, you know, kayak across Great Salt Lake in one day, swim down maybe, or swim up the freaking, you know, Mississippi River unsupported with fins and paddles, you know, whatever. Do the Katie Spots, you know, that 22-year-old girl who rode across the Atlantic. I actually wrote her a couple weeks ago, and she wrote me back twice because I wanted to know what her deal was about exactly where she ran. And I guess she didn't know, but she said she ran from Yuma north on the Mojave Desert for 200 miles unsupported, pushing a baby carriage. I was like, oh, cool, I'll try that. And then swam down the Allegheny River, and I might try and do that. But, which is like 350 miles. But, anyways, that's in a long time. Because, yeah, I told my mom a couple months ago, I was like, yeah, because I told her my last blog video, that, it's gonna, my goal is to finish my project by the end of this year, but now it's by the end of 2012. It's gonna take me 2 years to do it. At this point, another year and 7 months or something like that. And that's working 16 hours a day, doing nothing but working on that. But, you know, every like month or two going to another city. But when I told my mom that, I didn't actually believe it. I was just telling her that. But now I actually believe it. So I'm glad I told her that. Because, yeah, you got to be realistic. Because not only am I going to put, you know, every single thing that ever happened since the beginning of the universe, you know, every regent, king, prince, kingdom, you know, republic or whatever you want to call them, political entity, war, battle, invention, and, you know, of course, when I say the king, I mean everything about them. Their star sign, how many kids they had, who they married, how many times they married, how old they were when they died, what they did, you know, all kinds of stuff. Every invention, every building, every pyramid, everything, philosopher, book. But not only have all the information, have a picture of it, where you mouse over it and then you get the image grounded, anchored to the center of the screen. There's only one program that can do that, though, called Adobe Scene 7, which costs $2,500. But maybe next year, when I finally get around to actually doing that, somebody will figure out how to plug that into Flash, which is cheaper. Or get Adobe Scene 7. I tried to get the trial version of Adobe Scene 7, which is the kind of program that you download. It's called a subscription service. You just use a program on the internet, and then I guess they hooked them up with the wrong one because I didn't see. And now they won't they won't help me out. They won't I think it's because it's a brand new program, and they only have like one tech support dude or whatever, and they're still working out the kinks. So I'll just wait another year, and then I'll be like, "What's up? Help me out." But yeah, I'm gonna have to buy Photoshop. Because I'm going to have every single, flag of every single dynasty and kingdom and stuff also plugged in there. So, there's plenty of stuff I have to do with Photoshop. Like crop the photos so that they fit in the screen and stuff. And so that's like $600. So anyway, I'm not worried about money because by the time I'm going to get around to doing that, I'm going to have the money anyway, probably, hopefully. I think I owe like $1,800 now. I paid my brother off, so that's good. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing with that. After I leave Vegas, which I don't know when it's going to be because I need to kind of charge my money up again, maybe like another month or something. But it's going to be a lot of money because there's lots between here and Fresno, which is going to be the next town that I'm going to hang out. I'm going to drive across Death Valley. It's right next to Mount Whitney, the highest mountain in the lower 48 states. So I'm going to climb Mount Whitney, 14,494 feet, which is actually inside of Sequoia National Park. So I'm going to drive the other side, check out Sequoia National Park, Kings Canyon National Park, which is next to that. Because I have the year-long subscription to all the national parks. Then go into Fresno, let my money recharge a little bit in Fresno, and then I'm gonna head north. My mom doesn't want me to go to the shoreline because of the earthquakes, so I guess I won't do that. But then I'll go to Yosemite, and then there's Crater Lake National Park. I'm gonna have to climb Mount Shasta, and I think there's like Redwood National Park right there on the coast over there, and then I think another national park, and of course, Portland, Oregon. I want to check out Portland, Oregon for like a month up there, and then I'm going to live in freaking Seattle. And then by like the end of the summer, hopefully when it's still warm enough, I'm going to go into Canada, go and check out Vancouver. Somebody wrote me on YouTube and said that you can buy weed in Vancouver, like out of the coffee shops or whatever, and that'll be cool, get stoned there. And then I'm going to mosey on down south, check out, Glacier National Park, and then mosey on down south maybe by the end of November, visit my mom in Boulder, be with her as long as she lets me, probably like a month or so. And then mosey on down south, spend next winter in New Orleans. I'm still busy working on my timeline, listening and watching the YouTube videos every day, all day long, of history, getting better at history. So I think I'm going to have to do like a video about history. So that's me living on my vlog, and maybe like next week or next month I'll do another one. Okay, ciao.